Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your bro AJ, and this is a Hip Hop Visor podcast. I got a new host today, new guest today, my boy Dashad. He's the
So,
CEO and founder of Soul Faces Media. Go ahead and introduce yourself real quick, homie.
well, what's good, AJ? I am Deshaun Cox, the creator and CEO of Soul Faces. I'm from the 843 Georgetown, South Carolina, and I'm also a graduate of Winston-Salem State University, where I obtained a bachelor's degree in mass communications.
Hey, that was my minor. Good shit. Good shit.
Yes, sir.
And you can cuss by the way too if you want to.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't know who's gonna be viewing it, so I'm gonna try to keep it cute because I know how my mouth can get. So I'm
True,
gonna,
true, true.
I'm gonna appreciate that.
And no problem. But now, every time I have a new guest on the show, I always like to ask them their top five favorite hip hop artists.
So my top five favorite hip hop artists. Now I'm gonna be honest because I feel like my my love for music in general is just so grand. So I typically it's hard for me to kind of pinpoint a favorite, but five that I'm just gonna throw out there. First off, definitely Biggie. My first music memory ever is of the Flavor in the Air remix video. Yeah, so I was
Mm,
maybe like 3, 4 when that song came out, but I can literally remember my first time seeing the video, and it was just something about his flow and his swag that gravitated towards me. And with Biggie, he's a lyrical beast. Everyone knows that. Like I said, his swag, he's a great storyteller, and I feel like even though his career and his life was short lived, that he definitely made an impact. Number two, I'm gonna go with Pop because of his versatility. Pop, we all know that he could rap, he could act as well,
mm.
and he was just a badass. He was very firm in what he believed, and I felt like if his life hadn't ended so short, he would have truly made an impact. He already made an impact with the life he did live, but I could
Fact.
just only imagine the greater that he would have accomplished and difference that he would have made within our culture. Three, I'm gonna go with Nas
Mm.
because to me, Nas is like a quiet storm. I like his aura. He always been really chill, laid back, that type of swag. Definitely can rap. I feel like he never has to do a lot to still grab your attention. Plus, he's a Virgo, so that's a plus on that. Four, I'm gonna go with Ludacris. I feel like Ludacris is very underrated. I've always felt that way. What I always appreciated about Luda was how animated he was and his flow. He was always real creative, and that kind of stuck out to me. I felt like when he dropped at that time, it was very different, and that's what I could appreciate about that time of music as well in the '90s and the
Facts.
2000s. Like nobody sound like the next person, and I feel like people sleep on him lyrically as well. Like you can't sleep on Luda. He got He's very creative with his wordplay as well. And I'm gonna do like a 2 and 2 on this fifth. I'm gonna go with Lil Wayne. Long story short, underdog turn big dog turn goat, and I'm gonna go with Kanye as well
Mm.
because yeah, I'm
Interesting.
gonna go with Ig. And why I decided to go with Ig is, have you seen this Genius documentary that he dropped
The
earlier
one that
this
was on
year?
Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, Kanye, his drive is just one to be commendable. He's just a beast in every aspect, from music, fashion, producing, and I just always had, even in his craziness, I've always had a certain respect and love for Kanye and his music. So yeah, that's my top 5.5.
Now watch that. Our list is actually kind of similar, for real, for real. Because my top five is Pac, Bone Thugs, Nas, Eminem, DMX. Those
Oh
are my
yeah,
top
that's
five. Ludacris is in my top 10.
yeah, for
He's
sure.
Ludacris
Like
is
I
probably
said,
one
he's
of my
just
favorites.
slept on, man. Real slept on.
I've always said with Ludacris, I'll say he was underappreciated more than underrated. Just because the time he came in with when Prime Eminem, Prime Jay Z,
Right,
Prime Nas,
right.
I'm not Luda, Nelly, Prime Nelly. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
you are
Prime Ja
absolutely
Rule.
correct.
So like, and then 50 Cent was right around the corner, so it was just kind of like,
Right. Which
but he
is
still
why I
hold his
said,
own.
yeah, which is why I said what I appreciate is that he came with a whole different flow. He was creative, whereas in those other artists, I mean, Nelly won't hard rapper in my opinion, but
Right.
everybody had more of like a dark type of feel, and he came with that animated vibe. So he kind of stood out.
Big facts. Now, what about your top 5 producers? If you could do that.
They gotta be hip hop producers.
No, they don't have to be. They don't have to be hip
Okay.
hop.
I'm gonna just go with hip hop because I can literally go. I'm gonna go with Timbaland for
Number
sure.
one.
No, now the ranking is in no particular order because,
Okay,
like I said, it's just hard for me to just kind of categorize favorites.
I got you.
So I'm going with Timbaland. I'm going with the Neptunes. I'm going with.
Team VA.
I'm gonna say Kanye. Last two. I'm gonna see if I could choose some more recent producers that I like. Gosh, dang, this is kind of hard. Not as hard, but like I said, it. I'm gonna just throw out some people. The last two is just two others that I appreciate. I'm gonna go with Mike Will and Murder Beats.
Murder Beats.
Yeah, Murder Beats. Yeah.
Who this? A Hampton said JD ain't it.
What, like Jermaine Dupri? Damn,
Yeah.
I forgot about JD. Damn. Like I said, man, it's just so much, and I don't really got no favorites. So
True. I know my favorite personally is Dr. Dre. I'm a West Coast head, so
Dre, yeah, for sure. Dang, I thank you for putting that in my ear. I gotta start Dre in my rotation.
It is, yeah. You got to throw some West Coast in there. I need some Dre. You need some Daz, Battle Cat.
Yeah, I definitely gotta do that. But it's coming, man. It's coming. I'm a one man band, man. So hey,
I feel so am I for the most part. My podcast I got a co-host, but he's out of town this weekend, so I'm doing a solo today. But speaking of that, talk a little bit about Soul Faces to me. You know how to get started, what all you do with it.
Gotcha. So Soul Faces is actually the re-emergence of a blog, Debonair Define, that I started my last semester at Winston-Salem State University. So with Debonair Define, I basically interviewed more so local people that I knew that was within music, fashion, and entertainment, art, and I publicized them on the blog. And I was just really pushing it. I just thought that was going to be my claim to fame. And once I graduated, came back home, kind of got in the hustle and bustle of trying to find a job. We all know how that can be, especially coming from undergrad in that struggle. So I just got into a place where I kind of got like depressed, and I also felt like it was like a lack of support that I was getting on it. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just take a break with it. And that break turned into months, and those months literally turned into a few years. But I'm gonna just be very transparent. Like every day, like the blog haunted me every day. Like, Shaw, like you need to get back, do this blog. Like when you gonna bring the blog back? When you gonna bring the blog back? But after a while, it was maybe about 3 years after, because I graduated in 2014. I was just like, it might be too late to bring it back. I went without it too long. I'm like, so what else can I do? Like, what's something new that I could do because music is literally like my passion. So
Right.
I was just chilling one day and on my phone, scrolling on Instagram, listening to music, and I was just like, dang, like I want to share what I'm listening to. I mean, you can share it to your Instagram story, but I'm just like, dang, like it's really not a platform to where you could share what you listening to in the same platform and people can comment and interact on what you listening to. So I'm just like, man, I'm gonna
Right.
create an app because Soulface is the concept of it was the app initially. So
Mm.
I was just like, I'm gonna do an app, but what am I going to name it? And shout out to my mama. My mama actually gave me the name Soul Faces. So when this shit take off, like she gonna be straight, like for real. Like, and a lot of people really don't know that she gave me the name for Soul Faces because music, I feel like music is an emotion and it it just pulls out a lot of different emotions. Like you could listen to a love song and you and feel like like you want to get nasty. You can listen to something happy. You can listen to some gospel and just be uplifted. Like it's many faces, and
Mm.
music should be felt, from the soul. So that's how we came up with Soul Faces. And yeah, so right now I'm just focusing on trying to find creative ways to push content out there so I can build a solid following and I'm gonna just leave it right there. But my vision for it has expanded, surpassed the app, and I just want everybody to stay tuned, like, cause it's gonna come. Like, I don't care how long it's gonna take, but it's gonna come. Like, I got some big things coming for Soul Faces for sure. Yes.
Yeah. Well, Hampton said, "Yo, ain't JD your guy?" LOL.
You know what? You said A Hamp.
Yeah.
That's one of my classmates. We literally been friends since we've been 3 years old. So
Oh wow.
I'm gonna get her. Appreciate you asking for tuning in, like for real.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna get at her. Yeah.
One girl says, "Hey." So talk about some of the stuff you do be posting. Cause I know you be doing like the little versus battles on the not little,
Yeah,
but like the
so
versus battles on
right
it.
now for content, I'm doing or what I've done since I gotten back more being consistent with Soul Faces is if you check out my YouTube channel, I have an interview or two on there. I have a podcast, Soul Expressions, that I do with one of my best friends. His name is Colin Mayers. Shout out to you, Kyle.
Shout out to college,
And
fellow
yeah,
Ram.
shout out to Kyle. So with Soul Expressions, we get on there. We talk about different shows, things like that within the media, fashion, etc. And right now, I'm focusing on the social media platforms. So, a concept that I had for a video, because YouTube is really funny with copyright.
Man.
So, yes, so I was just like, I want to do videos on my top productions by all my favorite producers, but I'm just like, I want a piece of the song to like play, but I'm like, YouTube, they gonna shut that down. Like, how can I
Trust me.
do it? And so it can be. I'm just like, shot like you can. People they doing all these TikToks with these song clips. I'm like, make reels with it. So that's how I started doing the reels with my top producers. I added a few new producers this week. For a while, I've been running Timbaland,
Neptunes.
the Neptunes, Jam and Lewis, JD. Who else? It's been a few others, but I also did a video as well with the verses that I felt like we should need to happen, and I'm gonna launch a new matchup this upcoming week on that. But I had the Chris Brown versus Trey Songz because that's been the thing. Everybody lately has just been really trying to match Chris with Usher, and I'm just like,
Right.
that doesn't make sense to me. I feel like with the verses, like they have to make sense. The reason why I feel like Chris and Usher, not Usher, but Trey would make a good matchup is they literally dropped the same time. They've been in the industry the same amount of years. Like they both accomplished a lot. Oh, what happened to AJ?
No, you good. You good.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, hold on now. But
Give you the
I feel
spotlight.
like people sleep on Trey, and I'm just like, he can definitely go up against Chris. It's like with him and Usher, it's like the father going against the son. Like, you can't do that. It's like
teacher for student.
Exactly. And I feel like that with some other matchups, but it is what it is. But yeah, I have the verses we need to have going on, and I have some new content that's dropping this upcoming week. Cause I've been focusing more on the music, but I'm like, Shaw, like, you need to tap in more what's going on in the industry and with the fashion. So I got some fashion content coming this week. Nice. So if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel or following Soul Faces Media on all social media platforms, you need to go ahead and do that because you don't want to miss it.
Facts. Now, what we say, what will be some of your, first of all, my bad. So what were your favorite versus battles so far, like the ones that actually happened?
My favorite versus battles so far, I'm gonna do 3 to 5.
I'm about to say Trey ain't touching Chris.
Say that again.
No, someone said Trey ain't touching Chris. I don't know.
Who said that?
Well,
you said if you go on Instagram, check out my videos and you watch them reels, you'll see that it's not gonna be quite the cakewalk. Because for one, with versus, all you need is 20 songs. All you need is 20 songs.
Trey definitely got it.
Features, and Trey got it. Like, come on, stop playing in that man face. But top.
Don't have like a top 5, just like your favorites.
Who did Locks go against?
Oh, Dipset.
Yes, Dipset and Locks. Brandy and Monica.
Mm.
Gucci and Jeezy. Dang, it's been so many. I felt like it's been so many. I forgot some of them already went. Who already gone before?
That is a good one. So Keisha said Earth, Wind & Fire versus the Isleys.
Yes.
That was a good one too.
That was another one that I enjoyed.
Even though Steve Harvey was unnecessary, but yeah.
Yes. And and I feel like an underrated versus was Nelly and Ludacris. That was an underrated one. That was an underrated one that I like. Yeah, but I mean, there's plenty more that I like, but those is the top 5 off rip that I can be like, yeah, those was ones.
Yeah. I think for me, definitely Locks and Dipset. Nelly and Luda. Snoop and DMX.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
How about that shit? Damn, rest in peace, X.
RPX. What was another good one? Like you said, it was a lot. This is kind of like an unofficial one, but it was Swiss Beats versus not Timberland. It was Just Blaze.
Swiss went against Just Blaze?
Yeah. This is before the verses was even a thing. Cause like they were just randomly chilling or whatever, and then like they decided just to play like some of their top beats and shit. So like
Swiss Beats now that's definitely, that would have been a good one. In my opinion, I feel like they need to do more producer versus, because that's how I kind of started out initially, with the producers going against each other. Then they started bringing in the artists. Now, one versus that I feel like they should go back and redo is Teddy Riley versus Babyface. That one really did not make a lot of sense to me. That one didn't make a lot of sense, but I'm a huge fan of them both, and so of course I was tuning, but that one didn't make any sense to me. I would rather Babyface go against Jam and Lewis. That makes sense. That makes more sense.
What's some other verses that you would like to see, even if they did one already? Like, what's something that you would like to see? So
some verses that I would like to see. I would like to see Sade and Anita Baker, but people were saying like they're not going to be able to get Sade out. Like, but hey, I mean, you never know. But I feel like that would be a good matchup. I really want to see Jodeci versus Boys the Men, the Bad Boys versus the Good Boys. Who else I would like to see? I would like to see Pharrell. Maybe Pharrell and Kanye in a producers battle, which I feel like Pharrell probably got the dub.
I say Pharrell. I would say Pharrell and Timberland for me. I'm Virginia. I'm from Virginia, so
yeah. But didn't they put Pharrell? Yeah, that VA, and that was another reason why I did the Chris and Trey. They both from Virginia, exactly. So battle the VA boys. But yeah,
I actually did that. I actually did on my radio show. I did Pharrell versus Timberland. I did Pharrell versus Timberland. I did Battle Cap versus DJ Quick. That's the one that should happen. I did JD versus Diddy. I did Death Row versus Bad Boy. I did No Limit versus Cash Money.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see that one. No Limit versus Cash Money.
Yeah,
but Cash Money definitely. Cash Money got that in the bag for sure.
They do, especially if they do like the newer shit, like the Young Money shit.
And that's the thing when people they throw out these versus matchups. I'm like, the book's got a book. Like, if they don't have enough material in these discographies, like, stop putting some of these artists together. I mean, you got a Big Dog and you got another one up here. It's just like, nah.
Right, exactly.
Now, who already did 2 Chainz do a versus?
Yeah, he did one with Rick Ross. I forgot about
that one. That one did not make sense to me. I would have rather 2 Chainz go against Future. I think that would have been a better matchup, in my opinion.
I see why you say that.
But Rick Ross, I would have probably picked Rick Ross, put Rick Ross maybe against Jeezy. I would have did that, but I understand the dynamic of Jeezy and Gucci, so it made more sense. But
that makes sense.
Outside of that, I would have probably rather see Jeezy go against Rick Ross.
Because I think it was originally supposed to be
T.I. at one.
I think it was supposed to be Jeezy and T.I. originally.
Yeah, that would have worked for me too. And I still would like to see T.I. Maybe T.I. and Wayne. Maybe. For a balance, just to kind of balance it out. You know, you got 2 different energies that's going on because T.I. definitely got 20 of them things.
Oh, he do. He definitely do. But just Wayne has a lot.
A plethora, more of a plethora. But yeah, if he didn't have
who do you see? Who do you see Jay-Z going against? If he was ever doing. I know a lot of niggas would probably say Nas, but I'm like, no. Nas has 20 songs, but not.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind seeing them together, but the dynamics are just too different. But I would put Nas against Jay-Z, but the dynamics are really different.
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't, because I'm trying to think of other artists that came out in that era with Jay. Maybe if like Big was still alive, or because I like to try to match up the people based on the eras as well. I'm trying to think.
What about Busta?
Busta and Jay?
I'm just saying, like, as far as like longevity goes, he's been around for a minute.
I think it was supposed to be albums both came out in '96. So
Busta Solo came out in '96.
20 of them things though. Do he? Does Busta have 20 of them things?
He do. Oh, he definitely do.
I don't know.
Put your hands where my eyes can see. Make it clap. Pass Cavassier. Give me some more. What's the shit with Janet Jackson?
Wow, what's it going to be?
Yeah, what's it going to be?
Dangerous.
Let's see.
What
he
it
is. He can even play Flavor in the Ear remix that he was on that song.
Yeah.
So he can do that. Touch It. New York shit. The
The
shit, the
joint she
shit
did
he
with
did with Mariah
Mariah,
Carey.
baby, if they give it to me.
Yeah.
Like that one. What was? Damn. Yeah, Busta.
He got shit.
Yeah, he do. Yeah.
Oh,
That shit.
Woo-ha.
Get Out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but I don't know that. I don't know about him with Jay. But I don't know who would go. Who would you put up against Busta? I would want to see some
I think it was
more.
originally supposed to be Busta and Snoop. That was supposed to be the original verses.
Yeah,
But
I
he
like
couldn't make
that.
it.
I would have rather Snoop and Busta versus him and X. That one didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. They're both dogs, but the whole dog dynamic.
Fab and Jadakiss didn't make sense to me either.
Hey, Jadakiss 2 for 2. He needed
Yeah,
he needed a three-peat. The third one, it got to be Rough Riders versus somebody. I don't know who they're gonna go against, but Rough Riders got it.
Who was another quick that was out? Maybe no, because they don't got too many things. I was like, what about Rough Riders versus Murder Inc? But that's two different energies, and
it is two different energies.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like
it'll literally just be Ja Rule versus everybody.
Yeah,
else.
it got to be different energies to have a contrast because you don't want it to be two. But yeah, I don't even know if they got 20 of them things.
Yeah, I mean, Ja Rule by himself does, but
yeah. Now Ja Rule and Fat Joe, I enjoyed that one too.
Yeah, that was fun. Even though even though I know this verses would never happen, Ja Rule versus 50 Cent would have been funny as hell.
Yeah, it would have been funny. Who 50. Dang, who 50 versus Ooh, yeah. I wouldn't mind.
I say him versus Game would be a good one if they both weren't.
But Game don't got 20.
He don't got 20. But 50
gonna be petty.
But 50 gonna be petty. But 50 gonna be petty. Like, yo, I made that shit. That's my song. Get that.
Yeah, but I guess I'm just thinking off the top of the dome. But most times I go and I do my research and I'm just like, oh, okay, like, oh, I forgot about this track. Oh,
yeah. Like they both got 20 songs. And Game was more consistent in the rap game than 50 because 50's doing power 50, and all that shit now. So
50 had a strong about 6-7 years, and he was just like, I'm out, like I'm doing the vitamin water, and he just took the business, the business route. Yeah.
Only thing I don't like is like G-Unit could have took over all of the 2000s, but they couldn't get out of 50's shadow.
Yeah, I agree. Oh yeah, G-Unit.
Like G-Unit records, like
G-Unit and Rough Riders.
Nah. It would literally just be 50 going against everybody else. Because they had a whole squad. Like, of course, you got G-Unit with 50 Banks, Buck, Yayo, Game when he was there. And then they also had signed Lil Scrappy, Mobb Deep, MOP. Who was it? They had Olivia.
Damn, I forgot about Olivia.
Right.
Jeez.
She had did like those 2 songs, and that was pretty much it for her.
Yeah. Cause she had a song, I think, before she had joined G-Unit too, if I'm not mistaken, like in the early 2000s, maybe in like 2000 or something. I can't remember. But I know she was out in the industry prior to G-Unit. She definitely was.
I'm probably the only person in the world who hated all of G-Unit. I'm weak. All of them though, like god dang.
Well, yeah, I fuck with Lloyd Banks. I thought that he was gonna really be the one that took off from G-Unit.
Yeah, but like I said, he couldn't get the shot. Plus, he didn't really promote himself.
Yeah,
nobody really promoted themselves. They didn't take advantage of like the hype that came in like 03, 04, 05.
Yeah.
And by 06, it's kind of like okay,
right? Because in 06, who from G-Unit had them? Young Buck, he had that Get Buck
with me,
yeah. Oh, speaking of Get Buck, who I feel like is underrated in the industry is Polo the Don for sure. As a producer, like I used to be on Polo so heavy, like I was a Polo fanatic back in high school because
He did.
Man, like, yeah, Polo is definitely that guy. I definitely got to add him in the rotation as well. Yeah, because he got some hits for sure.
Jasmine, shut up. He said he looked around like Snoop Droopy. Jasmine ain't shit. My bad, Miss JLH, my bad. I heard saying her government name and shit. My bad. But yeah, Gina definitely could have made it big if they like capitalized, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
So what else you got planned for Soul Faces?
Like I said, I have some new content coming, pulling more on from the fashion aspect that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy. And yeah, that's all I can put out there. This about
True.
it. You know, I don't want to
Can't
give
tell them too much.
too much, but if you're not locked in, you definitely need to lock in because I got the content coming.
And there you go. Go ahead and follow them. Soul Faces Media.
Yes, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. What else? YouTube. Yes, most definitely YouTube for sure.
And you see you got a podcast as well, right?
Yes, Soul Expressions is the podcast. I'm gonna be quite frank. I did an episode on the podcast in about a year, but I'm gonna bring that back real soon as well.
It's Soul Expressions.
Yes, Soul Expressions.
Put it like this.
Yes, Soul Expressions. Yes.
Bad. And where can they
all
find the
tied
podcast?
in the same platform. So whatever content that I drop from Soul Expressions is all gonna be on the Soul Faces Media page.
Say less.
Yeah.
Bet. All right, we can go ahead and wrap up real quick, and go ahead just tell them where to follow you. I mean, I know you really told them, but tell them again just to make sure they know where to follow you.
Yeah. So if you want to tap into me on a more personal level, my handle is Debonair Gent 824 on all social media platforms. Soul Faces Media. Make sure that you guys please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I got the content coming. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and the Facebook page.
And also don't forget about Soul Expressions, the podcast.
Yes, don't forget about Soul Expressions. Now, if you want to tap into Soul Expressions, as we've done maybe like 8 episodes, that's on my YouTube channel. So for sure, if you want to check out Soul Expressions, definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel.
And I know me, I'm your boy AJ. I'm getting ready for my long ass outro. You can follow me. Well, first you can follow me on Twitch, War Machine 1919. I be gaming. I stream my podcast on there as well as I do gaming. I'm currently doing Pokemon Nuzlocke Challenge. I haven't been live in a minute, but I'll be back. Of course, follow us on YouTube, Hip Hop Vibes the podcast. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You gotta say the whole thing just like that. Hip Hop Vibes the podcast. Also available on iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast.
Man, we're everywhere.
Yeah, we everywhere. Trying to make moves out here.
Yes, sir.
Also follow me. Also follow me on TikTok and IG, A-Tone Productions. That's A_Tone_Productions. That's where I post all my daily hip hop facts. Today's daily hip hop fact is, what was it? Oh yeah. That's NWA's Express Yourself debuted on the hip hop charts. I think it debuted at number 45 back in 89.
That was before my time, but I know
that was before my time too. A couple months before my time.
Yes.
Then also follow me on Twitter, Hip Hop Vibes, hip_hop_vibes. I post daily hip hop stuff as well as I'm more kind of interactive on Twitter. And then
the thing for me, I have to figure out how to break through these algorithms. Especially, I feel like that's the most challenging thing about what we're doing is breaking through the algorithms.
Hashtags are your best friend.
Yes.
And then, of course, just being consistent.
Definitely, most definitely. I appreciate the opportunity, AJ, Like this is like I told you, this is my first podcast interview. I was excited for it. I think it went really well, and I appreciate you for having me on.
Oh, no problem, man. I seen you do anything. I'm like, yo, I definitely got to bring it on the show because you basically do the same stuff for the most part. And but yeah, with that being said, this is The Shot, my guest, The Shot. I'm your host, AJ. This is Hip Hop Vibes, the podcast. Catch y'all next time.
Hey, shout out to town.
Hey.